Input my question. All right. Okay, good. All right, let's start. So, hello everybody. Sebastian from Poster Lab here again for this new Pulse of the Market. I'm super excited as today as guests we have Vanessa Hernandez. Muchas gracias, Vanessa, for being here today. She will tell us about what I believe is a super interesting topic about how to make a change, take into account business goals, scientific knowledge, and sustainability imperatives. So for me, this is a really interesting, let's say, kind of genuine way to tackle all these three at once. So maybe, Vanessa, I give you the floor for 1 minute if you can intro yourself, and then we go straight into the question.
Perfect. So thank you, Sebastian, for having me, and for everybody, thank you for being here. And I hope that today you can learn one or two things about the coffee industry. About me, I am the head of sustainability and partnerships at Don Maslow Coffee. I have studied a postgraduate degree at the University of Cambridge in sustainable businesses. And I currently study a master's degree at the University of Edinburgh in food security. So this is what I'm currently doing.
Right, very good. Thank you, Vanessa. So, I mean, we had a very good preparation of this call beforehand, and I was impressed by what Vanessa is doing, and I think it's worth to be shared by as maximum people as possible. So let me go to the first question, Vanessa. So, what is the story behind Don Maslow Coffee? What was your vision, your personal experience? I mean, how did you come up with Don Maslow Coffee, please?
So I am from Honduras. So I'm always wanted to find a way to help my country, and we love coffee, and Honduras is one of the top 10 producers of coffee in the world. And we realized that in an industry driven by profit maximization and cost reduction, we wanted to create a product that, was committed to people and the planet. So when we originally set up to start on Maslow Coffee, we wanted to reduce the carbon footprint of the coffee industry. And but we soon realized that, in order to do this, we needed to become a research-based company. And this is where, academia comes into place. In 2020, during the COVID-19 outbreak, I decided to deepen my knowledge into the sustainability in the coffee industry. And this is when I went to study my postgraduate degree exactly in that topic, in sustainability in the coffee industry. After that research, it took me about a year, or what we concluded was that the deforestation is the result of a deeper problem. And the root cause of this problem is the unequal distribution of value in the coffee industry. Since 1990, the global demand for coffee has increased by 65%. But when it comes down to the price of coffee, what we see is a systematic decline in prices. So, despite the significant wealth generated by the industry, profits are often concentrated in the hands of coffee roasters, traders, and retailers. And this results in poverty, environmental degradation, poor working conditions, limited access to services and opportunities for coffee farmers and workers. To give you some data, the revenue gain by coffee producing countries has decreased from 25% in the mid-90s to only 16% in 2017. This problem is so severe that some Latin American producers are refusing to sell their crops at such low prices. In Honduras, the proportion of farmers living below the poverty line has increased by 20% in 2018. So, and how does this relate to deforestation and sustainability? So what we conclude, after the research is that as coffee prices fall, farmers are forced to increase their productivity to offset the falling prices. To do this, they don't have access to financing, they don't have access to technology. So what do? They cut large areas of the nearby forests to open space for new coffee plantations. So what this means really is that low coffee prices result in higher rates of deforestation. For example, in our research, I found that Honduras has one of the highest rates of deforestation in the world. And coffee production and coffee expansion has been a major driver of this development. So currently everybody's talking about fossil fuels and carbon emissions due to fossil fuels, but very little attention has been given to the agricultural sector, where high rates of CO2 and deforestation are happening.
Okay.
So in summary, sorry.
If I may ask you, so let's say this was kind of you built all this observation, and with this striking. I think when I was preparing this call today, I think I've seen somewhere that you have 3 square centimeter of forest equal to 1 cup of coffee. So I think it's one of the stats I've read. But my question is, so you've seen this, so then you came up with a new business model that was, let's say, bundling academic knowledge, business goals, and sustainability. So can you tell us about how do you think by bundling these 3 components, you can really make a positive impact? Because a lot of people have tried. I mean, a lot of people have tried to come up with new ways for the industry, supply chain to be more, to be better. But how are you going to tackle this?
Okay, correct. So I think currently academia is discussing, and a lot of people in academia are discussing scientific ideas in isolation. They're actually not creating applications for these, this thinking and these strategies and this research. So in our opinion, given the current initiatives and claims, so there are lots of claims that say that they protect farmers or that they protect the environment, but as I told you, the rates of deforestation are increasing and the rates of poverty are increasing. We developed our business model based on the research by the International Coffee Organization. In the report in 2019, they developed a whole set of econometrics, and they concluded that by paying farmers 1% increase in coffee prices, there were higher rates of unemployment. There were lower rates of unemployment. There was a decrease in poverty, a better diet, and a higher political stability and less hunger. So, we base our business model on research done already, and we realized that there is a potential for more research to be done. We want to. Currently, there is no information on how much it costs to produce a kilo of coffee. So whatever we pay farmers are actually done on estimations, and we don't count for the externalities. So I think there's a link, yes. I think that more research needs to be done and needs to be holistic, and it needs to account for all the expenses plus externalities. And also, once you have that research, you can develop the business model based on that. And then it will tell you, tackling the root causes, not just the impacts that you see. So one of the impacts of not tackling poverty in these countries is deforestation. So in our opinion, mere efforts to address impacts without targeting root causes, such as poor access to education, healthcare, and infrastructure, these models need to be revised. So that's why there is a need for creating a nexus between academia, sustainability, and new business models.
So, I mean, when we prepare the call, I told you, so I like, let's say, concrete things, concrete examples. So can you give us like some kind of an example, or you are, let's say, maybe changing the paradigm or doing things in a new way? Can you give us some examples how you are doing this?
When we were developing the research, we read the research done by the International Coffee Organization, and then what we realized is, we need to pay more because the root cause of deforestation is poverty. So we have done a study where we realized that in order for us to pay, to actually work on this issue, we needed to pay farmers more. And we did a wage study. I have looked at how much it costs, the bread basket, the basic bread basket in the countryside, a salary for a family of 5, and the number of workers that they have in the farm. So there's a whole methodology, and the conclusion was we needed to start by paying the price that is paid by fair trade plus 30%. So this is our methodology so far, but we know that we need to do more research on this topic. So that's an example of how we're using academia to tackle sustainability and creating a business model.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. I mean, and what about your position? Because you are head of partnership. So what is your vision of this position, and how do you think it's going to help you achieve your goals and tackle the challenges?
Well, so our goals and our vision. So our goal first is to bring awareness about these issues affecting coffee farmers. And secondly, we need to get enough market share so that we can create a significant impact. Our visions, I think, is very simple. We believe, coffee has the potential to be a force to reduce poverty. And at Don Maslow, we believe that we can transform coffee production from a destructive force to a sustainable sustainable practice that benefits the environment and those farming communities. So those are our goals. As head of partnership, what I find challenging is that a lot of people are not aware of these issues. They think, well, because of the current initiatives that we have, they think that these problems have been currently addressed, but they haven't, So this is where we currently are.
Okay, and so you are, you have challenging, let's say, to bring partners on board that would be adhering to your vision and understanding, and not only, let's say, doing some greenwashing. Sorry to be straightforward.
Correct. We would like, we understand the power of academia. I think if you go to a website today, you will see we don't have any currently certifications. Usually, we didn't find any evidence that those certifications actually increase the income for coffee farmers. And our priority right now is to address the root cause, which is poverty. And so we don't have any certifications. We are looking for people who, there's still very much a lot of work that needs to be done in the coffee industry. So like addressing water pollution, waste management, even the topics of human rights, and living income. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to completely have a sustainable industry. Also, when we consider that the demand for coffee is supposed to increase, that means that rates of deforestation are going to increase. This will have a significant impact on those communities and the environment, and even the price of coffee. If you go to the supermarket, you will see that we have all-time high levels of food inflation because we are not tackling those issues. Whatever solutions that we currently have are rather superficial.
Okay, understand, clear. I very much like it. Just what I see across the board for about, let's say, 1 year, 1.5 years, I see that a lot of industries are bringing the sustainability topic to the top. A lot of people are being called, let's say, head of sustainability, director of sustainability. But what I may be missing and what I see in your approach is that for me, there is you need to tackle this seriously. You need to have a substantial amount of scientific knowledge. You cannot do this without the scientific knowledge. And I think right now this is going to be the next challenge for all these companies. If they really want to make an impact, they will have to invest into understanding the root cause and going into the scientific aspect of the things to really make an impact. So that's why I like very much your approach of things. It's not only marketing, it's not only business, it's a root. It's a very deep dive understanding of a problem. I see just the time is running. Before we open the floor for question, would you see any? Do you have any final thoughts or anything you see or anything you would like to tell to the people that will listen to what you are saying? Anything you would like to share with us today?
Actually, yeah, I have prepared something, but I have lost it. So I think, to fully leverage the potential for coffee production, and not just coffee, but commodities, especially in developing nations. I think, academia, governments, the private sector to come together and help build a more resilient industry. And I think this isn't about, charity or political views, because it has been quite polarized. If you go this way, it's because you have these views, and you go this way, you have different views, and nobody wants to meet, you know, somewhere in the middle. I think if we think about how a population is suspected to grow to 9 billion, you know, there is a higher pressure on the planet, a planet with infinite resources to produce. And I think academia, and especially people who spend most of the time creating solutions, they need to move out of the classroom or the office and go and create business models that tackle those issues. So obviously we are open and very happy to collaborate with whoever wants to work with us and help us achieve those things.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vanessa. For those of you that are interested actually about cross industry exchange, cross organization collaboration, I mean academia, politics, cooperation. I think it was the Financial Times that just released an article about industry symbiosis, which is, for those of you that do not know about what it is how to tackle how, let's say, challenges that have been solved into one industry and see that maybe these practices can be applied to another industry. So it's not only about breaking silos inside the companies, breaking silos in between industries. So I think it's close to related to your topic. I'm going just to quickly open the floor for questions if there is any. But otherwise, I would already like to thank you a lot, Vanessa, for your time. Is there any question in the audience that you would like to ask Vanessa? I don't see any. But so Vanessa, thank you again. So you have a website, you have a LinkedIn channel. If you want to know more about what you do, about your company, we can go there. So thank you very much again. Have a great day, Vanessa. Enjoy. Thank you for the people that were there today. And talk to you next week in my next class. Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.